Hello, hello, welcome back to Transport Fever 2. Back in this new playthrough, trying to do a couple of mods. I've got a few here that we didn't have last time. We've got Move It, like I talked about, and then we also have Copy It, which is going to allow us to, well, copy things, duplicate them. And I've got a couple more train station options that I've acquired. One that allows us to change between station styles and is more configurable when you're placing things down, a couple of different types of stations, including this this one that'll allow us to do, see if I can get this to show up nicely for us here. Put a little bit of a curve on the station platforms. Should be a little easier to build. And just different options, different eras, so on and so forth. There's an open cut station. I don't know if you can see at this angle, but it places tracks below the ground. Underground station, completely buried, and then there's a couple of other ultimate stations things that pop up. Outside of that, there's some other assets for train stuff that we're not going to get to for a while. But wanted to see what we could get done in a little bit of time here. We're about to get the high-speed tracks unlocked by the game in 1925, and that is when I want to start building trains. So, we've got the city of Everett here, which is mostly satisfied with its construction material. And then we have a couple of other cities that have some degree of satisfaction with various things. Akron over here with food, getting pretty close. I just have to remember exactly what we've already done. Yes, it was Murfreesboro, also with food. So, we've got stuff to do. Different things we can improve, so on and so forth, and then maybe think about how we want to run cargo train lines other places. We've got our streetcar slash tram, whatever you prefer to call it, going around the outside of the city here. When I go to build train stations, I think I'm going to have one probably right around this corner, so we'll put another stop in on the streetcar. And then as these continue going around, obviously this will go around the outside of the map, come around here. The way that I'm thinking this is going to have to go is going to be through here, which means Murfreesboro is going to have an extension all the way down to where the train's going to be. So I'm thinking we're going to have a streetcar go just up and down like this. We're going to see what happens. Timberpunk 2. Very, very, very hard, but more fun than I thought it would be, and currently less stressful than Water Beavers. Had a hunger a few weeks back for an old game like Sid Meier's Railroad Tycoon, building track, hauling cargo, making money. This game scratched that itch. I mean, you can do all those things, but I think this is a little bit more involved than a Railroad Tycoon because you have trucks and buses and ships and airplanes and all these other things. I haven't... Look, I'm an American. It's a streetcar. Just because everybody else on the entire planet calls them trams doesn't mean I have to. We have freeway cars. You just drive your car on the freeway. We also have sea cars because you can, you know, at least once drive your car into the ocean. Space cars, at least one person did launch one into space, so see, there you go. Why in the world did YouTube moderate that comment? Doesn't make any sense. The problem with Water Beavers, honestly, is more so, you know, the people that are constantly telling me I'm doing something wrong when I'm just doing something different from what they want me to do. That gets to be pretty irritating. Did I actually answer the question that Brian had earlier? I don't know that I finished talking about it because I might have gotten distracted, but it's been a long time since I played Railroad Tycoon, like a really long time, so I don't remember exactly what you can do. But this game does have a pretty good amount of stuff you can do with trains. Rails only mode. I did a playthrough a couple of months ago where I just only built trains. I don't know that there's a mode specifically that you can start in the game to only let you do that, but you can restrict yourself, certainly. It is possible. It is pretty hard because trains are expensive to build and operate, and you have to be very careful about what you do at the very start or you're going to bankrupt yourself, but I did manage to do it. Alright, let's, yeah, it's 1925, so we should have the ability to go ahead and get going on building some train stuff. I'm going to start with passenger trains because we're really far away, town to town, and cargo is going to be expensive to transport because you have to build stations absolutely everywhere versus passenger things, you just have to build one. So, let's see. We got a couple ultimate station options. I think I'm probably just going to go with the regular straight one here. This is more industrial stuff, but it doesn't really matter if you have streetcar stops you can go. So I'm going to go to the 1850 style. I do like how that one looks a lot better. Turn this around. And you know what? It might actually be worth putting in a proper bus/tram station here in the corner. Yeah, just so that these guys have a better chance of actually, you know, getting something accomplished. I think these will interact if I just put this in the corner like this. So all we've got to do is get this a little bit further. I'm going to put it probably right about here. And then I want to make sure I can build this out. Street access, I maybe don't want right there. But I do want platforms. Give these guys just a little bit more. And then buildings I don't really have space for, but I can put a couple here. Yeah, let's just put 4 little buildings here. This should be plenty long term, and if it's not, then well, I messed up. But that should be all right there. I'll just get this connected again. Medium street. Yeah, just right like that. We will of course have to, yeah, give these required tracks. And then, again, the reason for this is so that we can have more capacity because people are going to be queuing for the train station here. So, what I should do is I should go to the Everett circulator. And I think I need to add this. Let's see. Oh, how convenient. This is actually the last one. So all I've got to do is just click. No, why did that go there? Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I don't want that there. I guess I needed to click on this. All right. For crying out loud. There we go. All right, so now it's going to stop in here. We've got, there it is up there. So that'll allow us to do a nice bit of transferring. And now I can actually put a train station in. But like I said, I want to do the 1851. Platform roofing is good. We can always extend the platforms if we want to later, but I think it's probably worth building the maximum length platform now and then worrying a little bit less about it. Time goes by. Go ahead and build the large building. Yeah, that's perfectly flat. This still connects pretty nicely here. This actually doesn't look horrible. Right there. I probably do need 2 tracks. We can always build more. We want high-speed tracks. We want catenary for eventually. There. So that's an expensive train station, but doesn't that look nice? I think it looks a whole lot better than the 1920s style. You got the plaza here. They can easily just walk up through it. And now we have to have at least one other town to go to. And Murfreesboro's all the way up here. Akron's all the way up here. If we're going to do around the outside here, then I'm going to want that to go to Allentown, which means that's going to come through this way. So theoretically, train is going to come through here. Akron is probably just a tiny bit closer. Do we want to do this exact same setup in Akron is what I'm thinking. I don't know. I kind of want to just... Oh, I love that I could just copy this. That's amazing. Fantastic. Okay, I could actually template it. I don't want that, though. Oh, did I just spend all my money by plopping those down accidentally? That is absolutely what just happened. Okay, well, that's on me for attempting to use the modded thing without really knowing how that works. It's fine. I'm going to choose not to worry about it. Okay, rotation-wise. I do want that to go that way. Let's check the alignment with the other thing right here. It's probably going to come a A little bit more. Is that too close? Maybe a little bit less. 115? Yeah, we can roll with that. Yeah, I definitely spent way too much money. That's fine. I wonder if I can... Why? Okay. All right. You know, we're not doing that again. That was incredibly stupid. 'Cause I was not attempting to get that to do that. Well, you get to learn in real time along with me. That's the way it goes. I don't know that I want to have a another stop this close to some of these. So I might just move. I might just move this stop and make it an actual thing. I know we got houses here. But it really should be at this corner. Well, that's what eminent domain's for. So, just pop that in there. Do this the hard way. Why not? Future-proof it just a tiny bit. That goes in there. Oh, we want our... Oh, that can't go in the corner, huh? That's fine. Alright, so now I've got to come in and upgrade the streets here. Now, if I take this out, that's not... Okay, View Street goes to Locust Street. Why don't we instead, after Madison Street, add Akron Branch should get rid of View Street. And then we probably also honestly don't need that there. I'm doing this mostly to learn, not to actually, you know, be hardcore playing this. It is what it is. Combined train and tram station. Can you? I don't think you can do that. No, this is only bus whatever. So, anyway, so we have learned that don't trust the copy thing because it's going to be super buggy. And I also don't have the cash to build one of these, but I'm not really that concerned about it. I'll just borrow some money. This is going to make a decent amount of cash no matter what. I wanted this to be in a good enough line to go here. That's going to have to rotate. Coming around this way, I have to be sure I'm not going to have problems with the rest of the stuff here. Let's just go like that. And then we will come in, try to, you know, not completely obliterate everybody's house multiple times, but it does have to attach. Yeah, let's just do that. So that's fine. We get a nice station on the corner, like some of these other ones, and we have the streetcar, tram, whatever, available right here. Now we can connect these, which I think should just barely squeeze by here. That's why I wanted to do that way. Let's build tracks. And I know I talked about building curved platforms, but we're not going to mess with that at this exact moment. I just need to make sure... Yeah, 186. That's miles per hour, not kilometers per hour. That's the maximum speed regardless. I think that's about 300 kilometers per hour. That might be the game actually hard coding. We can do parallel tracks. That was something that we didn't have the ability to do in the vanilla game. I know I can't build this. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get around here. And we're not going to have full access to the river crossing stuff at maximum speed for a while anyhow. I think we might want to... Yeah, I might want to cross this at a little bit more of an angle. If I come to, say, right about here, that's kind of low. We're going to need bridge supports. We do have Move It, so we could maybe mess with that. Let's go here. So parallel tracks, I thought was supposed to give me parallel tracks, but it doesn't want to do that. So I guess that is not going to work. Yeah, because this isn't giving me anything at all. Okay, now it does it as soon as I start talking trash. I see how it is. Okay. Well. Right now I just need to get across the river here. I think I need this to be... Because I also want to be able to do ships and barges and stuff. Who's this Alan they named a town after? I don't know. I'm not Pennsylvanian. Yeah, we're gonna adjust heights on this. But for right now, best I can do is this style of truss bridge to go 112 miles per hour, not 56. Yeah, this is it's a little bit too steep. Let's come back to here and then slowly work our way. I do want to maintain the maximum curvature speed here. 186. I need to make sure the inner track is really what I need to be worried about. So let's go back and... this is going to be really tedious, by the way, if you're not used to watching me do this. Just prepare for that now. Yeah, let's do the inside track first. Get this to right about there. Yeah, there's that 186. And then let's bring... No, you stupid idiots. Come on. Why on God's green earth does it not let me do this? There we go. Alright. That's what I'm attempting to do. I need to go up. And then I think from here I may be able to flatten it out and be tall enough to get ships underneath, but I'm not sure. I have all the trains accessible. American trains are speed limited compared to the EU Asian counterparts in the game. I mean, no, because when you get the legally distinct Acela Express 2 toward the end of the game, that one will go full speed. Alright, so let's go there. Oh, I forgot I had the... Alright. Alright, enough of that. See, this is why I have trust issues. Well, at least I've got the other one I was going to eventually build. As long as I can keep my thing I'm trying to do here. Alright, now I'm out of money, because of course I am. Okay, 186 continues around that way, then we can just have that probably go about straight back there. But this needs to go higher. No, I don't want that. Get out of here. See, this height, when I have it as like a long span bridge, is not going to be quite enough to get a ship underneath. We've got oil here. That could be a very important thing to get across. I don't know. We got options. We're sitting here playing around with stuff. Maybe I do want to go just a tiny bit higher here. I don't know. I was looking at all these mods before I started recording today. Trying to think if there was anything that was going to be slightly more interesting to play with. Yeah, we spent a lot of money screwing around with the mod thing that wasn't quite working the way I wanted it to. It's alright. We'll be okay. We always are. Alright, now... we have that go up. I just need to go... maybe not quite that steep. It's not telling me what the incline is on that, but if I can level this off a little bit more, that should be slightly better. If it's earthen, it's going to cost a lot more money. If I turn into a bridge now, it's going to cost more money than this, but not... okay. Well... this is not really realistic, but it is going to probably look a little bit better. Yeah, we can always change it later. So let's do that. Then we get across... no, stupid thing. The only reason I'm doing this like this now is so that I can check and see what the curvature limitation is. Why is this at 174? That shouldn't be at 174. It also doesn't need to be that tall. There we go. See, this is a much... well, move it will be necessary for height changes later, but this is a much, much better height to get bridges and barges and stuff taken care of. So even though this says 112, it's basically 186. So that's fine. Now we go across. We can just go arrow straight on that. This is, as far as I can tell, it's about maximum height. And then from here, we just have to go down, and we have to meet up with... Why is there a station on the edge of the map? You don't ever get money back for selling those things. You just waste it. Yeah, that's got to go to... Where is that coming over? Yeah. This has to come down here and then reach here. So maybe what we should do is kind of build both ways. Check and see. The tightest I can get 186 seems to be right about here. No, it's 185. Come on. Yeah, so as long as I can get that to meet up with where I'm crossing the river, which is here, I think that's doable. Yeah, we'll just continue going this way. So this is about the limit of that. And that is... Okay, that's sharper than we currently need. So I'm going to have this come out closer to here. Keep an eye on how the sloping is going. Yeah, I just need to probably, actually, for that to meet up to here, this probably needs to be about there. That seems fine. Now, if I just connect this directly, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna throw a fit because that's what it does. I also have this build anyway thing turned on because that's gonna make it a little bit less terrible to try to work with. But it looks like that is about the best we're gonna get on alignment. So what I need to do is I need to probably build the regular line up to this spot right here. Which is going to be easier for me to just keep that to about this corner. Just drag from there to there. It gets me 186. We're not doing any crazy terraforming. There we go. And then go past here. Just check this. Yeah, that's a... Okay, well, high-speed rail is going to be grade separated anyway. But I don't think that's something we need to worry about right now because it's not technically high-speed rail. All right. All of that to say, now, getting this... Yeah, we're definitely doing move it on this. Getting this set up like this is not the worst thing in the world. We might actually be able to rebuild from here down. Get a much more realistic slope. There we go. So that's an expensive bridge, is what it is. So that is basically as straight as possible. That really shouldn't be that big of a deal to go from here to maybe here. Yes, I know, this is why I'm broke. Alright, let's just take this out. We'll make this money back in no time once things are actually operating. Alright, so if I then turn this back into a berm, that says 180, it says 171 here. Alright, that means this needs to go out this way, and then that could actually come back all the way to here. Yeah. Let's just peel this back. Alright, we can also, you know, move this road. That doesn't really matter, but this we cannot move. So now, here to here, if I make this a berm, that is going to show 186 basically everywhere. I'm not going to build anyway because that would be foolish, but putting this here would make this entire thing all the way back to here a bridge. Now, in real life, this is something you'd probably actually see decently for new rail infrastructure because they're trying to keep the stuff level. I think this is going to be fine. We've already confirmed That's going to work out. It's just expensive. Is what it is. So, since we only have the 2 cities connected right now, we can go ahead and start offering service just on the 1 track, and then expand it as money comes in. But that is, that's basically what we're working with. Let's have a, for right now, because we can always move this later. Let's just put it, oh, come on. Let's put in a train depot. As soon as I have the thing connected, there we go. And we'll just modify this line here. We'll just go Everett to Akron. And we'll just call this like so. And it is 1926, so predictably our train options are not going to be very, very quick. But we've got a lot of them because we have every single thing available in the game. So we do have electrics. But this is the age of steam, so let's pick a nice steam locomotive here. Flying Scotsman's always a good choice. Currently seems like it's one of the faster ones. 75, that's 62. Russian Class S is 71. Anything faster than 75? Definitely not any of these things. So, Flying Scotsman it is. And I know these are expensive. We can't really afford to buy it yet, but we'll get there. We've got a bunch of different passenger car options. I don't know which one goes with the Flying Scotsman. Heavyweight parlors can go 112. And that's 6-axle passenger car. Lots of Pullman. That's an American car. The toilet is also part of the equipment. Very good. I would like it to be able to go 75 because that is the fastest thing. This is 2.1 million, 1.3. Well, we're not going to be making a ton of money right now anyway. That holds 20, that holds 19. This is like 60% of the cost. Forgive me for pairing American rolling stock with the Flying Scotsman locomotive, but here's what it is. So, I'm going to do financially inadvisable things and take out a huge loan to buy this. And we'll just get that going. And we'll have train service between the 2 towns. And of course, we'll follow it because that's how it goes. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday evening or very early Sunday. So I know over in Japan, it's like what? Is it it's either 6:30 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. I can't ever remember what the offset is. Of course, there's nobody getting on this because the train hasn't run yet. But there is just something about the steam locomotives in this game. They always look really good. Fun to watch. And of course, you can do that too. Although I think the amount of smoke belching out of this is maybe not super realistic. It's alright. What is this text on the Pullman? Classic car? Okay, so it's not an actual themed after any specific railroad, it's just Pullman equipment. I was looking at getting a bunch of specialized passenger equipment from the Steam era, and I was playing around with it before I launched Stream, and I really couldn't get anything to like work the way I wanted it to, so I did have to get rid of those assets. But I'm thinking as we get further into the mid-century, I'm going to want to start playing with some of the other non-American things. Especially, of course, when the Shinkansen becomes available. You know we're using that. Got a couple of different assets. Obviously, the Series 0 comes with the game, and I didn't see any, like, 1 or 200 series. I saw a 300 series, and there was a 500 series. Of course, I got that one. I don't think you get another Shinkansen until the 700 series shows up. It is a massive locomotive for just one passenger car. You are correct. But railroad equipment is very expensive to buy. So I'm going to just run this until this passenger car gets full up, and then we'll add more. I don't know how long it's going to take, because, you know, this can only go 68 miles per hour. But it's, hopefully, going to be able to make a decent amount of money before something better comes along. Yeah, so now looking at this from this angle, this is actually realistically probably still too steep of a slope, but it does look okay. Importantly, we can still go uphill at full speed. The track is electrified. Yes, I did build catenary just so I don't have to come back and put it in. Hello Kitty themed 500 series Shinkansen. No, I actually did not see one of those in the asset library. I think it's just the regular... Actually, I don't know if it's the 8-car version or if it's the original 16-car version. Probably the 8-car version because of game, like, platform length limitations. Somebody did make a Dr. Yellow, which I thought about getting, but then, you know, you remember Dr. Yellow does not carry passengers, so that kind of defeats the purpose. I would kind of like realistic passenger capacity for these things. Like this Pullman car should be able to carry about 50 people. And, of course, a 700 series Shinkansen, the full 16-car set, I think holds a little over 1,300. The 500 series held less. Fewer, I should say. But, I don't know. I don't know that the game can generate that much traffic to fill something like that. Dr. Yellow hasn't been completely removed from service yet, but it is going away, I believe, very early 2027. The Hello Kitty one did go away in May, and then within a week, they were tearing it apart with an excavator. And people were posting videos of it on Twitter, and it's like, oh wow, it's just like ruthless. I know, is it JR Central? I think it's JR Central, JR Tokai, depending on how much Japanese you prefer to use when talking about these, but they have a new N700 series, or N700S series that has the equipment in it, and I think they call it Dr. S or something, but that's not the same thing as seeing the big yellow one. Then JR East is going to make, in the next couple of years, a new track monitoring version based on, I want to say, the E8 series? Or is it E11? I don't know. Dr. Cousin might know. So that'll be interesting to see, but, you know, the Dr. Yellow is just iconic. And look at that. The first train, we got 10 people on there. Not too bad. This is just brutally slow, though. So there's already 8 people, 9 people waiting here, so this is probably going to be more people than we even have the ability to put on one train by the time this gets back. In which case, we can add another car to it. So we'll keep our eye on that. We can't see yet the other station we're going to. As soon as that comes into view, if that has more than 10 people, then maybe it would make sense to get another train car attached to this. We will see. Just have to wait. You know, part of me kind of does want to just continue the curve through here, but yeah, curves on bridges end up doing weird stuff to the assets in this game. And the most important thing is that this is high enough for barges and stuff to go under it. I don't know that we have to necessarily have every river crossing be this high, but probably the train ones at least. Because those are more annoying to reroute. Vehicles you can always just shove somewhere else. Oh yeah, no, we're going to put cargo runs in, but the game doesn't allow you to combine cargo and passengers on the same trains, or the same platforms even. So we're going to see what ends up happening here. I just, for the next little bit, want to see what shows up organically with the passengers on these. All right, show me the platform at Everett so I can see whether or not we need to add another car. Just because there's, you know, people waiting now doesn't mean there's always going to be that many people on subsequent trips, because a lot of this is just pent-up demand, and it'll even out over time. God, I wish this was faster. Alright, so this is... Okay, there's nobody waiting. Not a single soul is waiting to go. Oh, never mind. There we go. In terms of adding additional trains between... I don't know about running on the outer loop that I was going to maybe try to keep as just passengers. I don't know about running cargo between those. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, because we have cities arranged in a ring around the outside of the map, and then we have 3 on the inside. And I think it may make sense maybe to turn Baltimore here into a little bit of a cargo rail hub and then distribute spokes out. I don't know. We'll see. We got options. We got 5 people waiting here. Okay, we don't need to follow this thing around. We'll just leave that pinned so we can continue doing some other things. 36 people waiting here. I know the capacity of this is not that high. Something tells me this is not going to be holding too many folks. Did I already put a second unit on this? I don't think so. I think there's just one. Was it Akron that I had a second streetcar? Tram, whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah. So we do need... Now there's 32 people waiting at Akron. I think we do need to have a second car, streetcar in Everett. I'm going to... Where's the depot for these? Because it's going to come out of the depot here. Okay. Ah! Of course, not enough money. How could I forget? Alright, so we'll do that later. So this, going the other way, is not going to be full enough to demand another car. We may or may not want to put another car when we get to Akron. Not sure. But the streetcar here is definitely not having a fun time. It needs help, but I don't have any money. So every trip this will get slightly less terrible. And then eventually it'll start making some money. This one is making money, it's just not making a ton. Now it's got 6 people on it. It's going to go back that way. It does seem to be working okay. Alright. Still not getting enough bricks, huh? Is this an issue of production and shipment, not transport? Alright. Okay, so the distribution is not able to pick up enough stuff. Because these are all incredibly tiny. Can only hold 7 at a time. Alright, we'll see what happens. We'll be alright. I do think it's interesting that this train station theoretically can do walking transfers from 3 different tram stops. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's go check in on Murfreesboro here. So these guys should have... Yeah, they're looking pretty good on bread. Okay, that one's not even full. Shipment is an issue, but we're not consuming enough for that to really matter. Yeah, moral of the story here is these trucks are just hilariously small early game. And when we get maybe to about the 40s or 50s, it'll get better. Yeah, so now I gotta figure out how I want to handle cargo stuff. Well, regardless, we know in Akron there's a lot of folks that want to come through here. Unfortunately, buying passenger equipment is very expensive, so we're probably not going to be able to do that without taking out more loans, and I'm already at 30 million, which I do not want to take too much more than that. These guys will wait, they'll get bored, and they'll go do something else, and then they can come back later. Let's just put this on triple speed so we don't have to sit here. Circulation on this is actually reasonable for how small the town is. Can they drive anywhere else? They cannot. There's no direct road connection to any other towns. I think there's maybe only a couple of towns you can drive between here, Everett and Baltimore being one of them. Yeah, some people are going... Roseville, they can drive across. Yeah, so Baltimore, Roseville, and Waco right here are 3 that are not on the ring outside. All the other towns are around the outside of the map. They're going to be connected with the rings. So if we wanted to do a rail distribution hub, probably right around here would not be a bad choice. And then we just have lines going to each town. It's kind of what we did in the previous trains only playthrough, but not quite to that degree. So now the fun thing is this is extremely full, completely full. There's already 86 people waiting to go. And over here there's already more than 20 waiting to go. So, can we see him on the platform? Yes. I know it has all these different paths around because I have the station currently clicked on, but they are waiting. They are not standing next to each other at all. Yeah, we need to add more cars, but we need to be able to make money first. So this is going to come in, it's going to fill up immediately and then go back. I need this to get closer to you know, breaking even before we add anything else. It doesn't have to be necessarily profitable, but have to be able to pay for stuff. Yes, overloaded stations. It's going to be okay. Yeah, see, that one train took it from, like, what, minus 700,000 to minus 78? This will be profitable soon. I know this number is just going to keep going down, but eventually it'll catch up. Now, in terms of cargo, we still don't have any money to add anything else. But this should be okay for a little bit. $32 people waiting on that. Yeah, we really, if we want to make money with, yeah, this isn't really making a ton of profit, but we could easily add another unit if we could afford to buy it. So which one is that? That's the Moscow F. That's 257 grand. Has a capacity of 24. This is a capacity of 23, but it goes 37 miles per hour. Peter Witt streetcar. I need the PCCs to come on board here. Won't get those for a while, though. So I guess we can just let that be. Yeah, not much we can do without making money, which is unfortunate. I don't know what the loan limit is. Is it 100 million? You got to be careful because you're going to get eaten alive by interest. That's 300 grand a year. All right, so that's full. It's going to go back. I imagine there's probably still like 100 people waiting here. Oh, 160. Okay. All right. If we have that kind of pent-up demand, oh, we're actually positive, kind of. If I wanted to add one more of these, it would cost me 1.3 million. Yeah, we're not going to... Oh, I can't because I'm in something else, or... Ah. No, they're upset at me because apparently that's the loan limit. Well, never mind! I guess we get to wait. It's not very exciting, is it? Well, we'll be alright. Yeah, they are not happy with me here. You will note that the income is outpacing expenditures for 2 years. And it's probably on track to do so here. We're just going to have to wait for it to catch up a little bit. Yeah, see, look at that. It's made some pretty tidy profit each time it goes. Curse those bankers refusing to endlessly hand out money. I know, right? Just give me more. Give me infinite money. It's no problems there. Absolutely no problems. But anyway, a couple more trips, and we can afford to buy that second passenger car, and then that is really going to be printing some cash. And then we can expand other things. But perhaps since we're about to the point where we can afford to duplicate this, we might want to go ahead and do that. There we go. That will allow us to get more people moving here, which does generate profit. And then, you know, number go up for the rest of time, because that's how it goes. Thank you, mute button, so I don't have to cough and sneeze into everybody's ears. Okay, so that one's at 24. This one is slowly filling up. Alright, so now that's making money. I'm going to be leaving maybe 1 or 2 more trips. I can buy that second passenger car. How many do we have? We got 47 people waiting. Over here in Akron, how many is it? 210. There is demand for passenger rail. Don't let anybody tell you different. 55. Even with this extra thing going? Okay. Maybe we need to have more than 2. Or we can just start chaining more together. Well, we'll see what happens. Just gotta wait. Now, as far as cargo harbors, that's actually not as much as I thought it would be. But the ships, I think, are expensive. And we'd have to have somewhere to take all the stuff that's getting produced. We'll get there. Alright. First diesel available, HH600. 19 miles per hour for the Witt streetcar? I don't think so. Model 77 trucks with side stakes. Yeah, well, if I had the capital to actually, you know, upgrade these, then I would. But I think what we have now... Yeah, these already go 25. Did I upgrade all these to the Benz? Okay, that's a... Is that a Russian coach? I have to check... Where's my road depot? Here it is. I need to check on these other trucks here. So I think, yeah, oh, it was the Mack AC or is it the Benz? It was the Benz. It goes 25 miles per hour, holds 7 capacity. This holds 8, or 9 if it's the side stake, or... Is this the same exact thing? Why is it in here twice? Well, I don't think it's worth upgrading just to get 2 more capacity at the same speed with the amount of money that we're probably going to have to spend to, you know, take care of everything else. So we'll leave that alone for a little bit. Wait till we get something that's closer to like a 10 or 11 capacity. Because at that point, that's like a 40% increase. Alright, so this is about to get a big boost there. Yep. I just need this to be about 1.3, 1.4 million before I can buy a second coach. And I don't know cash flow wise if we're going to get that when this comes back in, but maybe. Allergies, dust, who knows? It just happens. Okay, nobody's waiting there. Yeah, so unloading makes sense as people wanting to get on the train, loading, people getting off the train. These numbers should probably balance out a little bit better. Eventually. What about over here? How are we looking? Almost maxed out. The town will grow a little bit if we supply them with machines, but machines are kind of annoying to get made. We don't have any facilities super close to there because we have to do steel and planks or whatever it calls that. Alright, so this is 600. 675. Alright. Oh, it already spent the money. I was going to say... yeah. I was going to say if this was still 1.4 before this departs, then I would put another car on it, but it's already down to 1.0. Yeah, see that just left? It's almost possible for me to upgrade this. I just need this to be green, yellow, whatever color it is. And then we can add another one. But this one here, 62 holds 20. This one goes 68 and holds 20. I guess that's about the best we're going to be able to do. Yes, we just have to camp out with this for a while. The riveting content you crave, I'm sure. Yeah, maybe we're not going to get this. I don't know. I hate having to wait until it completes another trip because then that's one more trip that they, you know, aren't going to be able to put 40 people on instead of 20. But it is what it is. Yeah, it keeps paying out expenses for all this other stuff. At some point we're going to get the... okay, there we go. Now it can hold 40. And then we can leave that alone for a little bit. We are going to get the... what is it? The Zephyr diesel multiple unit shows up sometime in the 30s, and that's actually a pretty good one, but it's expensive. Well, at any rate, this will make us a lot more money per run and get these numbers slightly reduced. All we have to do now is continue making the number go up. Yep, that's still okay. Is this, yeah, I think we can stand to be having more cars go through here. Because this is at maximum production, but it's not at maximum shipment. And we're even losing some, despite having all these extra storages. They just can't load fast enough. Okay. So we need to give these guys, is this Everett North? Yeah, we need to give these guys alternate platforms to load from. So that could be a big part of what's happening here. Yeah, that seems like that's going to help. I should have been doing that the whole time, giving them alternate platforms. Because we did for pickups, I'm pretty sure. Everett Central, yeah, they've got 1 and 2 here, that's fine. Wait, does this not connect here? It does not. Why? Okay. Whatever. It's fine. Yep, 111 people waiting here. Yeah, one of the reasons I wanted to do one of these larger maps is so that you have further distances between train stations. That's a little bit more realistic for intercity passenger rail. But the downside of that is it takes forever to do anything. 240 people. Now Allentown doesn't really feel like it needs a huge station. I also don't know how beneficial it would be to actually... Amarillo, okay, Amarillo's up here. They're not going anywhere else. We're not doing anything economically there anyway. Okay, now that's going to be going in. I am very curious, like, what these streetcar things are looking like. Like, how full is this? Not even half. Okay. Now, before this leaves, we do have enough to put one more car on this. And I do think I want to do that at basically any possible opportunity. We can get more people, sell more tickets, make more money. And the train is full. 60 people on there. There's 192 waiting. Now it's like actually a passenger train. We got multiple carriages on there. And we still have, yeah, 145 people waiting here. Yeah, all of these are making money, believe it or not. Believe it or not, this is making a tremendous quantity of money, more than all of these other ones. It just takes a really long time to get there. So I do want to make sure that I'm staying on top of new trucks coming out. Yeah, they haven't gotten anything. We got buses, which yeah, I usually don't like using because they're annoying to deal with traffic, but I think we're okay here. Sorry I've been missing the series so far. Well, it's only the second stream, so you're good. On vacation overseas. No. Enjoy yourself first. Watch me later. Go back and catch up. Just be sure to include the big boy. Oh, we're getting big boys in here. Don't you worry about that. Right now, this one single passenger train is actually doing pretty well. We've got enough cash to add another carriage on this if we want to. I think based on the numbers here, we might be okay leaving this at 3 for a while. Yeah, I need better trucks to come along for this to be really, really useful. As far as putting materials between towns, I guess Akron does desire building materials, which we are making here. I don't know that we have enough extra to cart over there yet. Add a carriage or start paying back the loan. Well, the interest is 300 grand a year. That actually would account for almost all of the losses for the previous year. I think, yeah, we'll go ahead and start paying back some of these because we're going to want, at some point in the future, we're going to want the flexibility to be able to take out more. So we'll just keep on paying this back in chunks. I'd like to get down to at least 25 million. Because I think that would take the loan interest down to, like, I don't know. Is it like 280 or something? I don't know. I'm not the best at math. Yeah, 127. That's 2 full trains. Theoretically, if you want maximum throughput, then you only want there to be enough people waiting to fill the train as the train is pulling to the station and at no point before. But I don't think we need to min-max this quite that much. Right now we got almost 3 trains worth of people waiting. 2.5. How close is that? Okay, yeah. So 2.5 is not great. Oh, we haven't built a headquarters. I have to figure out where the headquarters is going to be. I do want to repay as much of this as I can as soon as this pulls in. And we'll go take care of a couple other things. Alright, so that's going to be in one delivery. It's like 2 million bucks. Alright, so that's down to 26. So that's not nothing. Why did that, when I repaid it, the number did not go down? Alright, that's annoying. Alright, come on, show me 500k. Or not. Go spend the money on something else, I guess, whatever. Alright, we can't sit here and stare at this all day. So production is at the maximum for the level it's currently at. Transport shipment. I don't understand the difference between shipment and transport. But distribution clearly is not able to keep up. Because there's such a high demand of stuff going there. Okay, so Mill Street and Willow Street are both wanting. The first is not. I know the route that this is taking, I haven't decided to, distribution, Everett. I haven't decided to ration this stuff. The very first one, Mill Street, Willow Street, South Street, Central Street, are any of these even getting anything? Any of the rest of these? Yeah, it's just Mill Street and Willow Street. Or these are all residential over here, isn't it? No, these are industrial. So, oh, okay, because these guys want packaged goods and tools, which we are not making. That's fine. So that's probably actually okay. All right, before any of this goes away. Now we're down to 25 million. I'm going to leave that alone for a while. Give me some better trucks, please, and thank you. And we can upgrade our trucks. Just... Ah, there it is. The Pioneer Zephyr goes 110 miles per hour. That's a pretty cool train. But, problem is, it is... Oh, you know what? That's cheaper than this. It goes 110 and it holds 52. Okay, I don't want to kill this yet. But this is objectively better. Flying Scotsman cost 6 million by itself. Yeah, so we've got like 10 or 11 million original purchase price worth for this train that's running here. And it only goes 70% as fast as this other thing anyway. I'm going to leave this guy alone for right now, mostly because I, don't have the cash to buy one of those. But at some point we will be getting one of those. That's full again, 114. I do think we probably should add one more carriage to this. But I have to wonder if it would be worth putting a passing siding in and then having another train being that other guy. But I don't know, they would eventually get there at the same time, and that, I don't know. Probably not worth doing, at least not right now. And keep the long distance slower train going for a little while longer. These guys want to go where? Okay, mostly to Elm Street. I don't remember where that is. Spruce Street. There's Elm Street. Okay. That's fine. Just give me better trucks. That is all I want. Maybe we should set up another production line. That might actually be a smarter move. Because Everett does not want food. This is the version of the game where it'll do 6 cargo types when the town grows enough. So there is a possibility they might want food. But for now, we just have this. I don't want to buy any more inferior trucks until I have better trucks. So maybe instead, check out Murfreesboro here. Yep, they're basically maxed out. They don't want food. The only thing that we could really share between towns right now that we're making is these construction materials going to Akron. That being said, there's another construction materials plant near Allentown that has 2 quarries available. Maybe more? But I think it would probably be better for us to just get this operating. I've already got a distribution coming from here, an Akron transfer. That is on the wrong side of the city, but it can still use the same drop-off points. The DC-3, I'm not building planes. Okay, Class A4, that's a very good locomotive. Hiawatha, another good one. Okay, the Opal trucks, 37 miles per hour. That is substantially faster. Streamline Coach, New Mexico. Okay, no American trucks added or changed. Let's change these guys over to those Opals. Opel, I don't know. But if I change all of these, replaced with here, the tarp trucks, 12 capacity, and they go 50% faster. Almost. 14 capacity for that. That's not going to be transmitting that. Alright, so that's 1.6 million to change these out. That's going to be a lot better for distribution. And then construction materials, probably, since that's construction materials, I could do flatbed. Yeah, so that's going to hold 14. That is almost 2.4 million. I think that's going to be worth doing. That's going to speed that up a little bit. This may end up leveling up as a result, and if it does, then we will have extra that we could send over to one of these towns as soon as they start demanding it. So that's not bad. Might be worth our while to upgrade these roads, although I think this is already a medium, which has a speed limit of what this truck can go. Oh, 50 miles per hour. What's it going to cost to... $2? Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh. 41, okay, that's fine. These are going to have to be upgraded eventually anyway. That'll just be a nice thing to do. Alright, I'm going to leave this alone. Yep, still has extra demand on it. I think it's going to be worth our while to get this kind of reconfigured here. Maybe we want to check out where my drop-offs are. I've got one here. What's the route look like? Okay, because they're coming in that way. I don't have to use the same route they are, but if I take a look at where... Okay, so the building materials would go on this side, and I've got a drop-off here. I only technically have to go to 1 to reach all that. So, I think what's going to happen is we're going to want to build a new road, which I will go ahead and disconnect this. That's going to be a country road, 50 miles per hour. We're not going to have anything that can go faster than that for quite some time. So, why don't we go ahead and just get this going. Ah, the GG1 has arrived. Great electric locomotive. got these. All right. I'm going to, since we're not actually using this, just remove all of this road. What is this? Okay. We are going to want that at some point. I did turn off industry despawning, so I'm not going to worry about getting rid of that right now. Right now, I just want to be able to effectively connect roads. Alright, so I need to connect here to here, possibly here to here also. But for now, I'm not going to be that worried about it. Let's see. Trucks go really slow on curves like this, unless they are properly radiused. So, we come along to here, just make a very, very sharp turn. Or I put the station loading thing right there. That should be fine. And then we'll just have this go past this. Maybe I could just have it go through it. Is this going to be upgradable without it being a problem? We probably are going to want that at some point. Let's just run this past here. Make sure that connects. There we go. That'll just make that a tiny bit easier. And then this, coming all the way down here. Maybe I do want to reconfigure this. Yeah, let's do that. Got nothing but time anyway. Okay, that's not quite close enough. That is, and it is the upgraded road. If I want this to actually be kind of realistic, then I am going to need to... oh, it's in straight mode. Okay, let's not do that. Let's at least bring this out to here. Yeah, I know, we're wasting all sorts of money building roads the game doesn't really care about, but having things be not completely stupid is also nice. Right, so that's going to come through here. That's going to go... It's a lot of cuts going on here. Well, that's fine. That road makes a little bit more sense than what we were doing before. Now let's build in a couple of these truck stops, truck stations. Keeping in mind, right turns only, ideally. Okay, that's not going to be that easy to do. But right turns out of here. Could have that go out. Right turn coming this way means right turn in somewhere like here, and then they could come out that way. And then at that point, this would be unloading this and then loading here to go into town. Then that only has to connect to one or more of these. That should be not that difficult. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a couple of pads here. Yeah, make these 3. Now, I never remember how they want to connect these, but I think we probably only want to have those there. If I do a street access here, maybe I want exit. Yeah, let's make this an exit. Or do I want to go that way to exit? That probably actually makes sense. Yeah, let's do that. Give these guys a road. Country road. Medium highway. No. I don't need that. I'll just have a regular thing here. I don't think it's really going to care. That's going to be easier to go out that way. And then, if we want to come in, yeah, we have to have this configured slightly differently. I think since this is going to be ins and outs, we might as well have 3 on each side. And then I'm going to want to have an entrance here. So that guy's coming in and then leaving can also be a right turn. This is just like a general thing. So then they'll go that way. That should be fine. All right, routing time. Here to here. Now we have to get these set up. Okay, so this is basically only ever going to be pickup at Allentown Exchange. So that can be all 4 platforms. Allentown South. here is drop off. So if we're dropping off, here's fine. The guys picking up are going to come in this way probably. So if we do, yeah, 4, 5, and 6 should be okay. And the pickups can go somewhere else. Main platform 4 is probably alright. Okay, this one is, I had raw mats. This is going to be same kind of deal. Let's call that, well, it's not really Allentown, is it? So I guess it is closer, but I'm going to name this Akron because that's who's actually consuming it. Alright, let's do, can't spell. Akron Quarry. And then a new line. Oh, come on, man. This is going to go from, come on, there we go. Going to go from there to my knowledge. This is the only drop-off point that we'd actually need. So that might not be great, but it's fine. We're going to need a lot of trucks on that. That is going to be distribution. Akron. There we go. I probably should specify that this one is for food. Okay. Now I have a vehicle depot way over. That's a tram depot. Where's my vehicle depot for Akron? Way down here? No, we're going to build another one. That is just not going to be a smart thing to not have another one of those. Road depot. Why not? Now I've got these gas ones. Less capacity. Don't want that. Okay. Blitz dump truck. Let's start with... Let's go for 8 of these. And put them on raw mats Akron Quarry. Then to move the building materials... not this one. Dump truck. See, I don't have a stake truck. The stake truck's good for stuff like that, but this one only goes 25. Holds 12. Does this stake hold more than 12? It holds 10. Alright, so never mind. The tarp truck it is. We're going to need more than 8. If I get... that's a really long thing. I'm going to get 16 of these. That might be kind of ridiculous, but... this is a long route. And we want it to be able to be spaced out. Oh, I didn't change this to be picking up 1, 2, or 3. There we go. So this is hopefully, yeah, okay, there they go. Now they're spreading out. Now they're spreading out. Okay, why? Okay, that's the entrance. Oh, they're only going to go in this entrance if they're going to one of these platforms, I think. Well, I probably should have planned that better. So we'll see how this goes. That'll get slowly improved. This is, yeah, slowly improving. Alright, so that's going to pick up... Why? I thought I had... Why are these all picking up here when I have that on these? Okay, never mind. Now they're doing it. I don't know why it's like this. Alright, so that we can probably leave alone. They're going to get their building materials at some point soon. We still have a ton of people. 162. Okay. How many are here? 141. Okay. I think it is probably worth figuring out what else we could do. Because this can go 75 miles per hour. BC4. See, this is closer to what the Flying Scotsman would have actually pulled. Not necessarily the exact same thing, but... this gets us to 60. I'm going to go up to 80. I'm going to try that. It's going to cost us 4 million. But it is going to be able to go faster. You can already see that go just a little bit. Now we've maxed out the locomotive speed. And, I mean, it's not like a ton more. We did go from, what it was, 68 to 75. That's almost 10% faster. And then we also increased the capacity. We'll see how that goes. But... I imagine this is probably going to go away at some point in the, maybe the 40s. Unless we want to just, you know, keep it active because it's a neat old thing. So we'll monitor this. We'll keep that going. Is that still... It's looking okay. Still demand on the streetcar route. That's looking fine. Over here in Murfreesboro, how are we looking? Yeah, about what I thought. Did I upgrade these? I did not, but we're not really doing a ton here. Distribution in Murfreesboro. We might as well go ahead and upgrade these just because they're quite old anyway. And that is holding everything, so tarp truck it is. Raw mats and the farms. Both of those can be upgraded since they are for raw materials. Ah, I don't have the cash. Okay, well we'll have to maybe wait until we get a little bit more when this train drops everything off. There we go. Alright, so that is going to improve our food distribution in Murfreesboro. And we have this train full again, making a decent amount of money. It may be time pretty soon to think about extending the train to either Murfreesboro or Allentown. Allentown doesn't share any demands that we are currently producing. Murfreesboro is substantially further away, but they do have food. Everett does not want food. They want machines. We're not making machines. But in terms of transportation options, Allentown can't connect, and neither can Murfreesboro, so I don't know that it really matters. Which one? Population on this one is 120, and Allentown is 252. That's actually surprising. Okay, well... Oh, hey, remember when I built this track and I wanted it to be, fine. Oh, we got the PCC streetcars. And yes, that is actually a streetcar because that's what that one's called. Yeah, I'm going to have to move this road, which is going to be a little annoying. So I need this to be trimmed back to about here. I can't do it while I've got vehicles on the route, at least not easily. So doing it in chunks is going to be the easiest way to accomplish that. So once I get this to there, stop. Oh, I don't want to delete the house. Yes, I know. So probably what I should do is start extending the track first. Make sure that going there, 186 is going to take me to about this spot. Which means if we leave that alone, I need to cut this back to here, right next to this tree. So for that to be a thing that makes sense with building tracks, then I need to basically leave that to right about there. So that will help. That'll help me build this, okay, this was the one I was doing. Help me build the road. Alright, so that can go... I could go right next to the tracks, actually, but I don't think I want to. I think I'd like to avoid that if at all possible. Just have this go... Yeah, because this is going to have to go back this way. So, we'll just parallel this maybe to about... maybe to about here. I think I can easily keep this... Yeah, because this is straight here. Well, no matter what, moving this in this way is what we had to do to cut this corner out. I will bring this up to, I guess, right about here. Makes sense. And then I will have to just do this in chunks. Make sure the connection is still there, and it is. Yeah, they are still going. So stop there. That's going to go to here. Then we remove this. And then that, yeah. There's probably better ways to do this, honestly. Oh, okay, waited a little bit too long. But this way I don't have to chase it down anything. Makes it just a tiny bit easier to do this. Alright, that's as close as that's going to get. Move this to here. Delete this. And then so long as I can... Okay, not quite. I was going to say, so long as I can get these connected here in a way that's not going to be completely obtuse, because I don't want the roads to look stupid either. Alright, yeah, we're going to have to play... we're going to have to play stupid games here. Hi, I'm new here. Have you played a game called Timberborn? Yes. Absolutely. Hope you're doing alright. Attempting to get this circulated right. It's kind of hard. Right now, it's going to cry about not being connected to anything, but now the road is actually... Yeah, they're going to turn around and take that path like they're supposed to. Get this cleaned up. And there we go. So that road has been rerouted. So I understand now that after having built all of these tracks, I probably don't need to keep them that way, but I need this to stay at 186 for future purposes. Get us closer to Allentown, which is going to be more or less a straight shot from here. Let's bring this all the way down. That's going to be some really suboptimal arrangement of tracking here, but I think this... okay, we don't need to keep these perfectly here. I'm wondering if now would not be a bad time to put in one of these things I was thinking about doing with the station in a cut. So let's do city, medium street. I don't think I need a large street. I can always expand it, but on station frontage, I think it's worth investing into the large street. Okay, so one of the new modded things I got is an open cut station. This is not wanting to play nice with me here. But this thing puts a station down underground, but it's open to the top so you can still see it. Wow, I can put a 480 meter platform on this? The other ones are only 320. Okay, that's fine. We've got open cut. We also have underground. But the idea with the open cut... okay, and I want my 1800 something station. Platform era. Wall type, yeah, large street. Is it going to build a street for me? No. Tram tracks. Now, see, now I'm really, really curious with this. Let's just line this up. There we go. I just have a free streets. What? Now, see, now I don't know. I downloaded this mod like 20 minutes before I started streaming. -12? That's pretty... -12 is pretty deep. That one should bury the catenary. That's actually probably a little bit too much. -10 meters, that's 30-ish feet for us in the US. 8 meters is still plenty for train heights. That should be fine. Oh, yeah, here we go. That's what I was thinking about, overpasses, so I can have trucks come in. This is exactly what I was wanting to do with this. So high-speed tracks, mock tracks, no. 2 tracks here is probably fine. I can always expand it, but holy crap, it lets me do 12? I don't need 12 tracks. 2 is fine for here. But I wanted a bigger building. Oh, intraground overpasses is huge. Does it give me a... No. Maybe it does it based on the... No, it doesn't do it based on the number of tracks, or else that would have been a... Alright. What I'm going to have to do, I think, is just guess, and then put the larger building in here, because it's not going to do exactly what I want it to. Okay, let's try this. Okay, that's just a tiny bit glitchy. Ah, there's no modules available for this. Okay, well, I don't know exactly what else I was going to be doing with this if I can't add any modules, but I guess that's fine. They have an entrance from here and from here. Well, what that tells me is I can take this and I can actually give them a decent... Ugh. Okay, that's actually hideous. Let's just do that. We'll see. We'll see what kind of really stupid thing this ends up being. That was this 38 degrees. It's not going to match perfectly. But, so we've got that going for us. That's being connected there. Medium street, point to point. Construction not possible. Construction not possible. Stop being a coward and let me build this. Okay, so now this is about to get really interesting. So I can have, nope, that can't connect. That can connect, so I just have to get close enough. I know I can use the move it thing, but I want this not to be completely stupid. Mildly stupid, yeah, we can work with that, but I prefer construction not possible. Oh, because this, it's counting this as a bridge and it doesn't want to connect to it. Okay. Choices, choices, choices. How do I want to go about doing this? Because it seems like it's not going to want to let me attach... Okay, it's going to let me attach there or there, but not there. It has to come in from here. Alright, well... You saw it here first. It has to be slightly stupid. But it works. It's alright. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to build a tram station right next to this. And I'm going to expand this. I know we haven't really done anything with any of these, but I think it would be a bad idea not to have this accessible. Direct transfer here. I know we haven't built any trams for Allentown. Anyway, point being, open cut train station looks kind of cool. Is going to allow us to get over here to these other industry things in the corner of the map, and that was the most important thing there. And now we have to connect the tracks. I already have this. This is the inboard track. Yes. Let's see how this is going to connect, what kind of shenanigans it's going to pull on me here. Okay, so that is the inboard track in there. You know, if I have it connected all the way back here, then that's gonna, yeah, that's gonna drag that way up. But I know I can pretty much, to get that connected nicely, just leave that straight. So instead, coming out like this is gonna make this look a whole lot better, and that is a slightly more realistic looking thing anyhow. So now from there, connect to here. We got some kind of unrealistic earth moving here. Bridge over this road, I would not have built like that. Also, that is objectively hilarious. We're not going to be doing that. I think it's mad because this is trying to still go up, and it doesn't need to be. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to even this out just a touch. But I want that to be about where it is. Straight line is probably fine. Connecting here to here. Come on. Is that going to look decent? Okay, it kind of does. We're in the cut here. This would be a great location for a road bridge, so we'll build that and then fix that. This here is still kind of in the cut. I'm going to go ahead and build it and then come back to correct this bit, because this is very much not what I want. I know we spent all this time talking about, oh, well, I don't want the whole thing to be in a trench, but this is, for better or for worse. No, that's actually worse. Well, okay, here's what we're going to do. We have that. Now we have move it. And we can, as one might expect, move it. So why don't we segments... Okay, I want this to go... So I've never used this. But I want to... It's not going to show me, huh? Terrain offset? No. Is it not going to show me until I hit go? So if I go minus 5 meters is a lot. Minus 3 meters. That has done nothing. No, never mind, it just updated. Okay, that was actually not what I wanted. Okay, that didn't move. What about... Okay, that actually looks a little bit better. Let's go... Let's not move that up. Let's move this down. It's the maximum 0.5 meters. Okay, somehow that is actually worse. If you are recently joining, I am attempting to figure out mods for this game. And this has not been a super easy process. Okay, so that is looking a little bit better. The main issue I'm having here, can I multi-select segments? I cannot. Or that was caps lock, that wasn't shift. There we go. There we go. Let's do... Move those two. How is that worse? Okay, no. I want this node. I want this node to go down. Okay, that's what I should have been doing this whole time, is adjusting nodes. Okay. Well. We've got options here. Can I, do this again? Okay, I can't stack. That's so big boy's available. Let's just try that. Okay, that is slowly leveling it out. Bulk selection. Okay, the problem with that, though, is I'm trying to flatten this. Although now that this is kind of the height I want to, I would say about here. Maybe I'm better off just connecting this straight through and averaging that height, because the game does do a decent job of that. It's just when you have these weird hills, sometimes it likes to do lumpies and bumpies for no reason. You know, I really don't care for this. Well, for what we're trying to do right now, this is basically fine. I will just adjust the terrain. Give me the, give me this to just kind of smooth it out. As if that's going to do much. And of course, going down in the cut does have to be going down. Alright, see, this mess here is a little bit less convenient to get sorted. Why do I have artifacting here? I should not have water artifacting. Alright. See, this is very much not what I've been wanting to do. How's it going? Well, I'm getting my butt kicked by the game trying to, you know, have stuff that looks halfway decent. Not exactly working super well. But we're learning. Now, it keeps wanting to just annihilate the terrain here. I don't really want that, but at the same time, is what it is. So, all I can do now is just kind of, hope that I can get the rest of this taken care of. Alright. Well, I'll tell you what. I need to route this as a bridge. And, okay, that's not gonna play nice. I need these to stop going over here quite so much. Alright. That and that now is fine. This was a medium country road. I need this to go as a bridge. But it's not going to let me do that, is it? I don't want that at all. So I think what has to happen here is I go a little bit higher. I don't think that's going to be high enough to clear the catenary. Now if that works, and then I connect here to here, that's going to be a really stupid looking bridge. But we've already learned that the move it thing is a huge pain in the butt that I'm going to have to spend more time messing with, but this does not look great. But roads are probably a little easier to work with than the rest of these things are. I'm going to double track just the segment that's going to be going underneath the road so that we don't have to worry about that, rebuilding that later. Now, to get across here, yeah, that looks hideous. That's slightly better, but at the same time, not really. So, I know it's really going to mess up all these trucks doing this, but just bring this across. Stop it. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Let's go up one here. Kind of do the same thing. Is that going to meet? Not quite. Turn that into here. Close enough. Now, from there to there, I should be able to build a bridge that doesn't look completely ridiculous. That definitely does look pretty ridiculous. Tracks and ditches are feng shui. See, I don't know anything about feng shui. That's the problem. Let's at least, if we're going to do this, let's make this not quite so ridiculous looking. If it's going to have to be a bridge, then make it something like that. Now, the stone bridge, for right now, is probably actually fine, because it's still the 40s. I'm going to go with that. And then I'm going to open up the cursed mod, go to nodes, which is right here. Let's go down 1 meter. I don't think so. That didn't work. So up 1 meter, I suppose. Okay, you know what? I'm not using this anymore. That sucks. That is extremely hard to use. I just want this to connect and not be really stupid. Okay, City Skylines 1, Move It, was awesome. Extremely easy to use. So easy to use. This, not quite the same thing. Now let's do this. Let's very slightly lower this bit. And then do that, because I want the road to actually connect properly. Well, I gotta say, it's not great, but it's better than it was. So, this is what it is. Now I just have a really ugly bit of terrain here. Alright, that's good enough for now. It maintains connections. This is able to be used. And, you know, maybe I don't build another one of these trench stations again. But, we tried. That's what matters. Okay. The train is going now from Everett to Akron to Allentown. Not in that order. Come on. And then back to Akron. And then starts over again at Everett. So, this is going to be the thing that really makes it worthwhile to have the faster train when it has to go up and back. But we're going to have to see what happens here. So that train is full. People on the train are going to tell me who's going where? No. if I mouse over this, it will tell me who's going to which locations. Okay, they're all going to Everett, so now they're going to have to go to Allentown first. Is what it is. But I think this is going... Oh, there's people in the cars. Thank you, autosave. This is going to have to be upgraded. It's 1945. Okay, good. That does actually look decent going underneath there. We're either adding additional... that's what the same word means. We're adding coaches, or we're replacing this entirely, or we can duplicate the train. I will take input on that. I guess I'll let you guys kind of decide what you want to see. But one train here is not going to cut it. We're going to have multiples with passing and all that at some point. Ideally, when you have the full loop, you can have 4 or 5 trains running each direction. But for right now, that's not going to be really feasible. Okay, so now one person, they're going to be waiting a long time. Going to Everett, one person, or rather one person going to Allentown, everybody else is going to Everett. I think we've got enough money right now to take a quick look at this. Coach-wise, yeah, BC4 is still the best we can do, unless we get a faster steam locomotive. That is not the Flying Scotsman. Let's slow this down. Because we have, if we want to keep on steam, Big Boy theoretically never used in passenger service except for excursion trains. However, it goes 81 miles per hour. Hiawatha goes 99. Class A4, the British famous one. Mallard, you can see right there. Russian one's slow. I'm not opposed to running this with the Big Boy. However, the only thing we could really run with it that would go the same top speed... What was the top speed of the Big Boy again? 81 miles per hour. I thought it was faster than that. Okay, well that's not as bad. Heavyweight Parlor goes 112, and then we have the Streamlined Coach New Mexico. This was not used with steam trains. This would have been with the F units, which have not unlocked yet. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't gotten F units yet. Maybe... No, I think this game has the PA series, not the F units. GG1, 99 miles per hour northeast corridor. Never really ran anywhere else. I think we can... Yeah, we can repaint them custom colors. So if we want to use that, we probably need to wait for the diesel. Anyway, all that to say, I think it is time to swap this out. So, Class A4 going in 90, if we want to keep that kind of energy. We don't really have a good carriage to pair with it that can go that fast. Big Boy with the heavyweights might make sense. This has a just gargantuan amount of tractive effort, 135,000 pound-feet compared to 30. So if we were to do that and then give this the heavyweight cars, since that can go 112. Oh, that's going to be all of my money to get a train that goes 6 miles per hour faster. That's probably not worth it. Probably not. So the Hiawatha is faster. Doesn't have as much tractive effort, but there is a historical precedent for this at least. This is... Oh, that's even cheaper, the Class A4. Going 90 miles per hour. So I guess we can upgrade to the Mallard. And I do, unfortunately, only have another one of these streamlined things that'll fit with that. I think this is forgivable. But can I colorize these? Is that actually going to paint these a different thing? Now I am curious if I do that from 90. Is it going to tint the cars, or is it just the striping? Train 1 doesn't even have the same... What if I type Mallard on there? There we go. Now we're kind of historical. Historical enough for the people who get really into this stuff to get really mad that it's not perfect. But I digress. This is going to slowly creep up to 90. And then we'll be able to go just a tiny, tiny bit faster, carry more people. Works for now. Okay, there's the PA. I don't think those ever went 117 miles per hour. But it's fine. We'll let this be what it's got to be for a little bit. All right. So that's going there. We've got 27 people waiting. That's fine. Yeah, we may need to dieselize this at some point. But what we can also do is we can double track it, and we can have one train on each track just shuttling back and forth, and that'll help things out a little bit. Probably be a little bit faster, quicker than just going all the way around the outside. But we did just spend a considerable amount of money renewing this, and I don't know that that's going to make a whole lot of sense to change anytime soon. I think I might be more interested in what kind of trucks we've got. We've got the Studebakers at the same speed. I guess it does carry a little bit more, but probably not worth messing with right now. Got a lot of people waiting here. Probably waiting for the train. Boy, this thing loads slow. There's only 20 people going to Akron. Are they going to get on the way back? Yeah, okay. Okay, I think we can justify extending the tracks all the way over here and then having a second train. So we can actually keep the steam train, and we can add on the other tracks one of the PA sets, maybe. I think that would make sense. Get that built in. Oh, that's going to be upsetty spaghetti with me, isn't it? Yeah. Collision. Collision with what? What about from here? Alright, so that's going to split. Oh! Now hold on here. That's coming from there. That actually ends up... it ends up looking better. It ends up looking a lot better than the stuff I did manually. Alright. Well, you know what that means. It means get this thing out of here, and then we'll just rebuild it. Why not? Let's cut that back to here, and then... I think as long as I just attach that... it's close enough. Can I... No, that needs to be smaller. Can I not... Okay, that doesn't do anything in the center of the tracks. You know what? I don't care. Can't spend all my time worrying about it. So that's going to fit fine there. I guess we'll just come around here, and the outer loop for right now is going to have that other train on it. Come on. There we go. So that means I've got to build a track to access this. There we go. And I'm probably not going to have enough money to really do this. Pioneer Zephyr was 110. And that also just has everything in on it. This guy, 117 miles per hour, 102,000 pound-feet. I know you can get the PA by itself. But I don't know. I don't know that we really need the B unit as well. That's going to be 13 million by itself. So let's add just a unit, and then of course these are going to have the streamlined coaches because that's kind of what those were designed for. I do want this to have a decent amount of capacity. Maybe don't need 90. Maybe I'll leave 72, or if I can just get this started with something at a 54, that's probably better than nothing, because it's also going to go, 93 miles per hour until I have faster cars. Yeah, the heavyweights are so much more money. I could also increase the loan. I'm not going to do that. Now I just sit here foolishly waiting for more cash to come in. And the money has just gone down. Okay. So now I need to have on the other platform okay, where's the train now? Is that in Is it up here? Because I need to find it, because if it's going to start on the other end, and the train is already at the other end, then that's not going to solve any problems. What station is the train at? Okay, it just left. So I guess it doesn't really matter. I want that to be... Which track is track 2? Track 1? No. Why doesn't it just label... Okay. 2. As long as that shows up on the other track, which it does not. Track 2. Why does it not... Oh. Where's your problem? That'll get fixed. Forgot I didn't have that set up. And that's going to be track 2. Track 2, yes, cry about it. It's going to be fine. And then I will just not send anything else on here. What did I call this? Train Everett Akron. Track 2. And then this one has to be updated to be track 1. Now I have to actually extend the tracks. I can just let that one continue on, because then I can set it out when it gets closer. Where is... There it is. All the way around here. That is upset with me. Why? Alright, that's fine. I guess I just have to baby... Bridge pillar collision. How do I have a bridge pillar collision building a bridge attached to a bridge? That should not happen. No, no, no. There we go. Oh, now it's mad because I'm out of money. Okay, well, you know what? Fair. Guess I just have to wait. Come on, $1.2 million. Please and thank you. As soon as that train shows up, it should give me a decent amount of cash. And there we go. All right. Now the rest of this shouldn't cost quite as... Oh, now they want construction material. Okay. I'll just build this in chunks in case I lose a bunch of money. Of course they want food. Okay, that is now connected. So I have that if this is already in Allentown, which it is not, that makes it a little harder. Where is... There. Okay, because I know this is going to be faster, so you know what? It really doesn't matter anyway. The trains aren't going to be in sync, but I do think it makes sense to just make sure stuff stacks nicely. Okay. Now we got this one. Yes, Big Boy is freight, which we are not currently doing. Unless it's 2026, then it pulls the office car special. But it is not 2026. Track 2 doesn't have the return stop in the middle. You are absolutely correct. So we get to add that as soon as we get over there. Very slowly. There we go. Now it does have the return in the middle. At some point these will be upgraded to electrics just as soon as it gets to Shinkansen time, which I think is 1960 something, 1965. So we will see what this ends up garnering in terms of ridership. 2! Alright, great. Fantastic. Those meeting in the middle at the same time was pretty nice. Dog's Upsetty Spaghetti would like me to take it for a walk. Have a good rest of your night. You too. Thanks for stopping in. I don't know how much longer we're going to be going. 2 hours is about what I was planning for today. I just wanted to make sure we had some sort of trains running that were actually making money. I guess these are technically... This one's not profitable yet because it hasn't done a complete lap, but it will be. Alright. Now, how many people are going to get on? 1! Why did this one not get on? Oh, because they're waiting on track 1 for some reason. Even though they're going to the exact same locations. Alright, that's weird. Huh. So I guess these people don't realize this goes exactly the same place yet, because we got 120 people waiting for a train that's going to take another 5 minutes to get there, when this one's already here, but nobody's on it. I think over time it does end up balancing out a little bit, and it does help when you have a complete loop, one's clockwise, one's counterclockwise. Yeah. Got little buses coming in. Yeah. It's going to be fine. Yeah, Mallard is, in my opinion, one of the best looking steam locomotives that was ever made. Not necessarily the best, but definitely one of them. So as soon as this starts turning positive and we regain most of the money that we spent, we're going to be in a really good spot to maybe look at doing freight rail between cities. I do think the raw materials to the processing plants still makes a lot more sense to just be trucks. And we'll see what we have to do to get everything else taken care of. These guys, yeah, see, this is starting to balance out a little bit. And now when more people come in here, then they'll know they can take either one. Now, if these meet in Akron again, that would be great. Even though this one's going faster. Hello, what have you missed? About 2 hours of me fiddling with trains and modded station assets and getting really frustrated by the Move It mod. And the Copy It mod costing me like $8 million. Don't know how much longer I'm going to be going tonight, but we do have trains going between 3 different towns. For passengers, at least. And we're slowly making those profitable again. Yeah, these people still haven't quite figured it out. Now, 152 people want to go to Everett on this one specific train. There's only 18 on the other one that goes the exact same route. It's alright. Okay, so yeah, this is starting to slowly just squeeze by over here. It's alright. We don't really have that many faster vehicles yet. We did get technically some other types of trucks, but they go the same speed, so I'm not going to spend money upgrading them. Can always watch the first part later. That is true. But I did get, I guess I could just show you. I've got the open cut station, which is what I put in this town. I've got the ultimate stations that allow you to make stuff on the curves. I got an underground one I haven't built yet. And then I did get a mod that allows you to select which station style you want based on era here and a bunch of other configurable things. So that's been nice. I got a couple other assets for trains as we get closer to the 60s, 70s. And outside of that, you know, I talked about Move It and Copy It. Did not have a good time trying to mess with those. So it's probably just one of those acquired things that I have to get. Outside of that, you know, stuff is looking okay. Not great, but we're getting there. Ah, yes, the rail bus. This is something the last playthrough I did with only trains. Someone's like, "Why aren't you using rail buses?" Like, buddy, I don't have that available in my my item set because I wasn't in the Asian one, or European, I think is what it was. But now I've got all of them in the same one, so we can use rail buses if we wanted to do like intra-city stuff. Yeah, the stations are neat. I do like those. Now we've got faster freights that can go 75. Yeah, these are European stock. I recognize those. Yeah, so we'll see. When we start getting into freight rail, that's going to be nice, just being able to jump straight to the 75-mile-per-hour ones. And I guess there's probably not too much more we can do with that today. But overall, stuff is looking pretty good. Murfreesboro probably... see, this is the All-America Golden Sand. That's the one that really needs to be with these PAs, because they can go the same speed. So I suppose... Well, I don't have the money to upgrade them right now anyway. But we may end up doing that. Or I may just not bother and just wait until I get the faster electrics. We will see. Alright, so I don't have to follow this thing around anymore. We know it's working. Yep, still looking good on construction material. Akron wants construction material. Akron is getting construction material from this other thing. Maxed out. Food is getting there. Murfreesboro does not care about anything except food or machines. And that is basically maxed out. So, just have to figure out how I want to do the train stuff, because I said last stream that I might have wanted to put the around the outside passenger thing all the way over here. But honestly, I probably, if I was careful how I routed it, I could probably come around here, thread between here and here, and then put a station on this side of town. Even though this is mostly industrial. We'll see. There was a mod, I don't have it installed, but I did see one that was going to have more organic city development based on where you place things, instead of just, oh, the city's getting bigger. Like, industrial will grow around industrial stuff if you have truck stops or train stations that are delivering things, and passengers stuff will grow around tram stations, bus stations, and stuff like that. So, if we were going to put a passenger train station here instead of on this other side, I would need to have a pretty clear shot at the maximum speed to kind of thread the needle here, versus coming in on this side would probably be easier, and then come on that side of Stockton. I just have to be able to know what I'm going to do in the future. I don't think that's something I really have a handle on at the moment. So we got options. We got things we can do. Probably a little bit more than I want to get into right now, because it is 9 o'clock where I'm at. Probably need to, take care of some other stuff. But things are working out pretty well. This distribution, Akron, for the bricks is not really making any money. Let's see what's up with this. Okay, that's empty. It's half full. I think it's just not demanding enough to justify the amount of vehicles I have on this. I just put a bunch of vehicles on it because it was a long route. So we'll have to mess with that at some point. Just trying to think. Because I thought I had... Oh, I got Auto Signal. Or AutoSig or whatever. I did download that. I have not messed with signals because we don't have any conflicts whatsoever yet. But I do think I want to challenge myself to not just build individual dedicated tracks point to point for everything. I want to try to, when possible, have no more than like a double track main line for some of this stuff. We'll see. That, like I said, is not a today thing. Yeah, see, this isn't even full right now. So I think we're probably fine train-wise for that. Yeah, this seems like a pretty good point to stop. Sorry, I know you just came in, but I probably should go. I appreciate you being here, all of you. And, VOD's always there. You can go back and watch if you want. And hopefully I can do another stream. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do too many midweeks. I tried on Thursday to do one. It didn't work. But I will do my best to let you guys know in advance. But I appreciate you being here. Have a great rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you again hopefully soon. Take care. Bye-bye.